Hey, how's it going? This is Mick, and today I'm going to talk about why idiots succeed. Why is it that people who seem not as smart as us, or not as educated, or not as self-aware, why is it that they seem to be going through life just making it, just succeeding and plowing through whatever goals they've set in front of them, while all the intellectuals, the smart people, the people who went through school, the self-aware people, like you and me, why is it that we have a hard time getting things in motion? And I think it has to do with overthinking everything. The idea that, it took me a long time to figure this out, but I have not done many things, and I have not said many things because of this self-awareness where I'm like, well, if I say this, then this person's going to think that, and that person's going to think this. And if I do this, then that might happen, or this might happen, or that might happen. And when I do that, what ends up happening is nothing. I have all these patterns and this math that revolves around a question or a goal or an idea. And when I start running the numbers, all it does is say, you know what, you're better off to just stay in your tracks right here, don't move, and you'll be better off. And access to information and books and school and all that stuff, there's all this information for us to dive into. If I want to be a YouTuber about sugarless baking, there's all these books and these influencers and all this stuff that I can read and consume and digest, and I can start diving into the right ads and the right this and right that. And by the time I'm done reading or learning all there is to learn about that specific thing, it's too late. I'm fucking old. It's over. It doesn't matter anymore. Meanwhile, the guy who literally just started posting videos and just, started collaborating and just started organically building an audience due to sheer persistence, not brains, just passion and persistence, now has a TV show. Or the guy who, while I was trying to make Facebook ads for my music and doing all this crazy shit, he just literally started playing. 3 people showed up the first time, 10 the second time, 50 the third time, and boom, now the guy's signed and he's on tour. So sometimes we're too smart for our own good. And this idea of smart, is it really smart? Like, we think the guy in class who doesn't do as well as us, but he has this persistent nature about him, and he's not as self-aware as we are, and he just goes off. Everyone writes him off until he succeeds. There's a lot of these people out there, and dumb or not, or idiot or not, they're getting things done. They've done things. And what does that show? It shows that too much studying or too much education or too much planning doesn't really help you. If you want to be a surgeon, or you want to be a lawyer, or you want to be a doctor or an accountant, these are specific trades that you need to learn and you need to study. And yes, that's a different thing. But if you want to build a business of any kind, or you want to be a musician, or you want to write a book, or you want to do anything in that kind of space, the people who are going to succeed are the ones who are going to actually do it. The ones who try to overplan forever maybe aren't meant for that space and should probably go into a trade of some sort, or just say, fuck it, let's just get going. And I've spoken about this before, and I said, oh yeah, I used to plan too much and do this, but I continuously fall into this because I always want to plan things, almost because I'm too afraid of putting myself out there. And just the other day, I played a show in front of one person, and I realized I don't need a fucking band. I don't need all this stuff. I don't need a blog. I don't need any of this stuff to make music. All I need to do is play in front of someone, because I played in front of that one person and it was fucking magic. And it just shows me, just play shows, go out, do things in the real world. And this idea that I or anyone else in my position is scared of what other people might think. Those people aren't doing anything, so discount them right off the bat. And those are people you know, and everyone else really doesn't even give a shit what you're doing. Nobody cares. So it's just like, go. And the reason why idiots succeed is because they're not thinking of this stuff. They're just going. They're just doing. They're just making things happen. So are they really idiots, or are we the fucking idiots? I think we're the idiots because we're overthinking and we're laughing at this guy and this guy because they're not following the path to nothingness that, you know, too much information and too much reading and too much bullshit is putting us through. That it's almost like our ego saying, yeah, this guy did it because he's stupid and this, that, blah, blah, blah. But that's just the ego, you know, giving us a reason to not hold ourselves accountable to what we do or don't do. So I don't even think those people are idiots. Those people have strong minds. They have confidence. They don't need a crazy 35-year plan to get things done. They just start and they just end up where they're going. There's books written about their lives, but they didn't follow that book. But people will buy their books and start reading them and try to mimic everything they did. That book is just like a history of exactly what they did. They couldn't have planned that. A leads to B leads to C. Everyone's trying to go from A to Z. And I'm starting to figure that out. And that's why I'm talking about it. And that's why that goofy car salesman on TV with the weird flags, he's making it. Or that Instagram girl who's relentless and posts all day long. And you're like, what the fuck is she doing? And then boom, she's got all these followers. And then next thing you know, she sells bikinis or something like that. And she's making a great living. And she's living her life. She's living the dream. And everyone wants to be like her now. When at first everyone was saying, you know, she's an idiot. So it all comes down to our perception. We don't want to do things because how we might be perceived until we aren't as successful as we want to be. And that's just a waste of time. And if we can all be a little dumber and a little less self-aware, I think we'd all be a lot better. At least that's what I'm trying to do. So that's it. Visit ohmic.com if you want to read some of the blogs that I have up there. It's ohmic.com. And yeah, that's about it. You can follow me on Instagram if you want to see my goofy day-to-day. And other than that, it's been real. Thanks very much. Have yourself a good one. Later.